To the channel. So tonight we've got some training, Friday night, going into the weekend. Nice. So it's been a bit of a long day of work today, but now we are going to be starting to focus on some specific time trial training. So tonight, as you will see, I will be using the time trial bike, smashing out a turbo session. Now this is to get used to the time trial position, because in the time trial position I am using slightly different muscles and using a lot more of my lower back. So we'll get this smashed out. I've got a 15-minute warm-up, 3 sets of 12-minute intervals, very high intensity big gear work with 8 minutes rest and recovery in between. The whole session's about an hour and 6 minutes and should give me a training stress score of about 70 to 80 or thereabouts, depending on the power numbers. Okay, so we'll catch up with you. Okay, so that's the training session complete. So obviously on my film I've detailed Friday night's training session and now Saturday morning's training session. Today hasn't really went to plan. I've got a bit of a busy day now, so I'm going to have to adjust my plan, and I've got a few things I need to do which we'll catch up on shortly. So today was zone 3 strength cadence dropped ramp intervals, so it'll be like 5 minutes 80 to 90 RPM holding zone 3 power, and then it would be 70 to 80 RPM for 3 minutes, and then 60 to 70 RPM for 2 minutes, and then 7 minutes high cadence easy, zone 1 to zone 2, and then repeat times 3 times, which included a 15-minute warm-up and a 5-minute cool down. So in total, an hour and 6 minutes. So I didn't actually feel that good today, to be honest. I don't know what's going on. I've been struggling a bit this week. Just not feeling comfortable on the bike. I am using the time trial bike to get used to the time trial position again, because I haven't ridden it for a while. Obviously in the off season with using the road bike, winter bike and the mountain bike, so I'm not quite comfortable on it yet. I think we're going to need to do some position adjustments, and I'm going to have to do some more stretching. So right, we'll see you on the run for the rest of the day. Okay, welcome back. As if just by magic, we're back. So we've finished the training. As I've already mentioned, you know, I've got Friday's training, I've got Saturday's training all in this one film. I'm now showered and changed after the training this morning on the torque intervals in zone 3, where I felt a bit crap, if I'm being honest. I couldn't, for some reason I struggled to get my mind into it today, and my legs just felt rubbish. As I said, using the time trial bike, you know, I need to readapt myself in the time trial bike, because I'm also using rotary Q-rings on the time trial bike, which for those of you that don't know, rotary Q-rings are oval, elliptical, however you want to call it. Comments please. And they're designed to kind of take out the dead spot or to make you pedal more efficiently. Now I only use them on my time trial bike. If I'm being brutally honest, I can't really tell the difference between them and round rings. But what I've noticed, for some reason, even though I'm using the same bike, computer, etc., pedals, my power readings seem to be a lot lower on the time trial bike. I don't know why, and I'm getting a lot of power fluctuations now. On my road bike, don't have a problem, but the minute I go to use the time trial bike, it's like say my cadence is 90 RPM, my heart rate's say 157, I'm sitting at 250 watts. You know, I'll be like at 250 watts for a minute, 2 minutes, and then it'll drop down to 219 despite maintaining the same cadence and keeping a consistent heart rate, and the speed being, you know, there or thereabouts, given half a mile an hour, 1 mile an hour difference. And then I have to work really very hard, and my heart rate's going up quite hard to bring the power back. And that only happens on the time trial bike. I don't know why. I don't know why. So, if you know, please comment. And before you mention it, I have calibrated the system on the time trial bike, and I have checked for updates. There aren't any updates. I'm using the Wahoo Element Bolt. So, you know, there doesn't seem to be any issue there. So at the moment, very busy day today, lots of chaos going on. So I've done my training. I'm actually a little bit later because I kind of stayed in the shower a bit too long, just relaxing with the hot water, etc., because of the muscle damage, because last night was quite a hard training session as well. So I've got 3 tough back-to-back days. Tomorrow's like 3 hours, you know, so zone 2, zone 3, keeping the chain tight, so, you know, three kind of tough days. So I am currently in the van, the Ford Transit Custom, which I absolutely love to bits. I love driving my van, absolutely love it. Now, as some of you may or may not know, I've actually not had my driving licence that long, contrary to popular belief. So I passed my driving tests 2013. I passed my driving test, end of November 2013, and the reason being is I love driving. I drove professionally for a lot of years, obviously accompanied by my father, etc. And I've also done work on farms where, you know, privately in the field, obviously, so there's no issue, before anybody comments, where I drove the tractors, reverse with trailers. So driving's great. I've been driving tractors, quad bikes, blah blah blah, for years. I love driving, but the reason why, sorry, I'm just cooking here, I'm turning the heating down. The reason why I took so long to pass my driving test was because my passion's cycling. But I also love driving, and I didn't want to become lazy by driving, because I do really enjoy driving. I like driving dynamically. You know, when I was a teenager, I used to go with my mate and his brother up to a place called Appleby, and they did like banger racing, and I used to love that. So very good, just in fields. So, you know, that's part of the reason. So anyway, long story short, when I first passed my driving test, I actually lived on the outskirts of Edinburgh with fantastic bus service, so I didn't actually need a car, and I commuted to work by bike, so I didn't actually buy a car. And the only reason why I passed my driving test, or went for my driving test, was because of my daughter. There was one day I was in Edinburgh with the buggy waiting on a bus, and it was absolutely lashing it down with hailstones and snow, and you know, one bus came up, the bus was full, I couldn't get the buggy on because the buggy, it wasn't as straightforward to take it down, and then the next bus was full and we were absolutely frozen, and I just thought, you know, I need to be Dad's taxi. You know, my dad used to ferry me around to all the bike races and everything, and still did up until 2013, to be honest, so thanks Dad. So I thought, right, I need to get my driving test. So I passed first time, as I would have expected from myself, to be brutally honest, because I enjoy driving, I can drive, you know, I believe relatively well, but you obviously have to train and drive to be able to pass the driving test. Could I pass the driving test now? No. Because of a different driving style, basically. Not because of bad habits, but because of a different driving style. which is not required for the driving test. So anyway, what I did was, behind where I work there's Arnold Clark. So I spoke to Arnold Clark and they do car hire, and I managed to get a kind of bit of a thing going, so very big thanks to Arnold Clark. Whereas if I hired X amount of time within a month, I would get a good deal on vehicles, so I didn't have to bother with insurance, tax, MOT, blah blah blah. I just hired the vehicle and everything was covered for me, which was very good. So because I like driving, I like nice cars, so I actually had the luxury of Mercedes AMG, BMW, Audi, you know, S-Line, so it was very, very, very good. But the problem was, I'm like, I've got no claims bonus. And because I'd been spoiled with all these nice vehicles, effectively, after about a year of doing that, I decided I needed to buy a car. So I got a BMW, which was very, very nice. But then I decided, you know, although the BMW was really good, it was an X series with a 4-wheel drive system. It drove brilliantly, but because of the cycling and everything, I decided I wanted something a bit more practical. So, long story short now, we've waffled on long enough, I got the Ford Transit Custom. Now, I actually enjoy driving my Ford Transit Custom continuously, like a daily car, more than the Mercedes C-Class AMG, A-Class AMG, Audi S1 and also S3. Now don't get me wrong, those cars are phenomenal for power, driving dynamics, but in terms of just like having a laugh and mucking around, I actually like driving my Ford Transit Custom. Now there's been a lot of bad press recently on Ford Transit Customs because, and I am going to say it, I love my Ford Transit. I seem to be quite lucky. I have had some minor issues. I've got 62,500 miles on the vehicle now. The vehicle is now 4 years old. And I actually don't use it that often because I have a car as well, and I kind of use this. It's been converted into a camper van, so I don't use it daily. I've actually just taken it out today for a drive just because I haven't driven it for a week and it's not good to leave it sitting too long. So I have had some minor sensor issues, but overall mechanically very sound. My only criticism is the paintwork on the body seems very weak, and I have had some ABS sensor failure, temperature sensor failure, and they've all been like cheap £15 failures. And for some reason the brakes, although they work phenomenally well, I'm really happy with the braking performance. Because my van can sit for a week to 2 or 3 weeks at the time, in the last 2 years I've been through 2 sets of discs and pads, and I've only got 60,000 miles on the vehicle and it's 4 years old, well 62,500. So that's not great, and it's probably because it sits so long, so now I consciously drive it once a week even if I don't need to, at least for 40 miles. So I'm having to pop into work today. I've got some various things that I want to do and have a look at. I can't really go into any details. I would like to kind of show you what I do, but I can't, so there we go. So tough luck, tough luck. So I have a very interesting job, and I do like it. Everything presents its challenges, you know, that's life, and I like that, you know me, you know, I like things that are kind of difficult, and you know, and that are kind of, you know, offer a bit of a challenge. So I do like it from that perspective. So I like making things work that, you know, might seem on the surface very difficult to make them work. So I like to deal with situations like that. So I do like that, and it's very similar to training and racing and all the endurance events. So anyway, this is actually turning into quite a long film now because I'm waffling on so much. So I'm kind of heading towards Edinburgh at the moment. and I will pop into work. I've got my laptop there, so not for long, because I've got a bit of a trip today. I'm taking my daughter to visit their nana and granddad, and she's going to stay there tonight, and probably cause absolute chaos and have lots of fun. She absolutely loves going there, so that's very good. So right, well, I'll catch you just shortly once I've been to work, because I can't film in work, I can't talk about it, all very top secret stuff. So see you shortly, bye. Okay, so work completed, and now I am going to be going to Dumfries and Galloway. So Edinburgh to Dumfries and Galloway, so a little bit of a trek. So just going to go pick up my daughter and then head off to Dumfries and Galloway. So awesome, it's a really nice run. It goes over a place called Dalveen Pass. It's really windy, the van's really kind of rocking around. So it goes over a place called the Dalveen Pass, which is very nice, and then head towards a place called Thornhill, which is also very nice. So very nice roads, scenic, countryside, beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, a bit of a hectic day today, but never mind. So we will see what's going to happen later on. So thanks for watching, take care, bye bye.